Hello everybody, welcome to Nostalgia Goggles. I'm Chris, also known as Retro Gaming Nerd, and today we're going to be reviewing a video game from my childhood, which is most of the show, but today we're going to review one that's pretty special to me. Actually, this whole year is going to turn out to be that way, but today we're going to review Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64. Now, this is a video game that I played a lot. Heck, I played it so much, or rented it so much, from Family Video and Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, just so many places that you can rent video games from. But I used to rent this so much that I thought it was only rentable. That was before I knew, you could actually buy video games, but, So, with that being said, let's check if this game is still worth playing today. So, there isn't really a story mode in this game, as much as when I was younger I believed there was. I thought that there was like some kind of deeper story, and I believe that if you look into it hard enough you can kind of find one, but I from what I've looked up, there's no story. With that being said, let's move on to gameplay. So, Super Smash Bros. Is an interesting type of fighting game because it's not like any of the other fighting games, like where you drain a life bar. This is a fighting game where you have to knock your opponent off the stage, either with items or just with brute force. That's the main gist of the game. With that being said, there's a story mode which allows you to fight all of the characters all the way through until you make it to Master Hand, which allows you to unlock characters. There's also a break the targets mode. And then there also was a mode where you can race to the platforms practically. There is other modes in the game like Multi-Min and Race to the Finish, but those are only in the actual one-player mode. Within two-player mode, there is Versus mode, Time mode, Stock, and then there's the team variant of those modes. Now, if you have no clue what Stock is, congratulations, you are completely new to Super Smash Bros. That is just the Lives mode, it's how many lives you have. And that's pretty much it to the game. There's not really much more to this one, because it's very simple. I think that it's also kind of weirdly enough stiff, especially coming back all the way from Ultimate, which is the last Smash that I've played. This game doesn't feel as good as the other ones, but that's to be expected since it's the first one, but it still does have the charm to it. I absolutely love this game in general, and it's the one that I started with, so there's going to be a little bit of bias here. I will honestly say though, if you are new to Smash, or if Ultimate's where you started, I think this is kind of hard to go backwards. So I think where this game shines today is actually the presentation, due to the fact that this is a game on the 64 where we get to see characters that have not had a 64 appearance, or if they did, they were in a ship or something, such as Star Fox or F-Zero, but characters like Ness and Samus did not have a 64 game. I do understand that Earthbound was going to get one, but even then it wasn't gonna be Ness, it was probably gonna be Lucas, or I can't remember his father? I think it was gonna be Lucas though, So it really doesn't matter at that point. This game looks, I think, great to this day, or at least it's cool to see these characters, especially since not only do you see these characters, you also get to hear music that you wouldn't hear around this time, especially for games like, I believe, Metroid, because once again, it didn't get one, and the classic Super Mario theme that is within here. There's a lot of stuff that is really cool. I do think that my point can also be negated because Pokemon, Mario, and Zelda, and even Donkey Kong had a 3D go, but I feel like it's still even cool to see them on screen together. So I think the presentation is where this stands, at least in the models. Also, it's really cool to see the levels themselves be represented in this way. I think this is really cool, and something that I don't think is done in Smash as much as it used to be. I could be wrong, because I'm not thinking too hard, but I feel like the way that these maps are set up are way different than they used to be. I think another thing that's interesting to note is that the background aesthetic of this game is very interesting and nothing like you'll ever see before in any other game. I don't know how to 100% explain it, but all of the menus and all of the background stuff it screams Smash Bros. It screams this era. It screams Nintendo 64. And I absolutely love it. And last but not least, let's talk about the announcer in this game, which is awesome. I absolutely love the announcer. I'm not going to have an opinion on them in every game. I just think that they all do a great job, and they're all great. They package the game all together, So I love it. So this game at this point goes for $30 to $80, which is interesting. I feel like $30 is reasonable for a game like this, but I don't know about $80. We paid about $64 for it, which made me snicker. I probably wouldn't have done it if it wasn't 64 because it's the Nintendo 64. But I think the price is okay. The thing that's funny about this game is that there is a heavy possibility that due to Nintendo Online will eventually get Super Smash Bros. And with that being said, once that comes online, I feel like the price is really not worth it, but the price might go down. I honestly have no clue because this game fluctuates, so there will never really be a time where I think I can guarantee a price, but I can tell you that that's what it is right now. This game fluctuates, so be careful. So in all honesty, I still think this game looks great. I still think it's a fun game to play, and especially with your friends, and I still think that it's kind of interesting to have. Now, I have no clue how much nostalgia is in this because like I said, played this game as a kid, so there's a lot of nostalgia, but I think that once you peel it back, the look, for me, is where this game is at its strongest, because there is no way in hell that I can say that this is the strongest Smash Bros, because it absolutely isn't. But I do think the presentation, for me, is what brings me to that nostalgia point, because it is definitely rough to play, but I do think that it is fun to have around. I love playing with other people, and it's a very iconic game, and it created a very great series, but this is where I get into the bads. Despite the fact of my nostalgia, this game was kind of a slog to play through, especially since I was probably playing it by myself. If I constantly was playing this with other people, I definitely would think it was super fun. I kind of feel like I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage with this video, mainly because I did play this on my own, but that's just kind of how it is now. I'm an adult, and I moved across the country, so most of my friends that are where I'm at have moved, and when I was in a place where my friends were, I don't think I could get them to play Smash. You know, I could have probably got them to play any other game, even more modern Smashes. I think that this one would be a pretty hard sell unless they grew up with the game like I did, which is heavily possible. I feel like the thing with this one is that you have to have the nostalgia to like this one. And not in any way am I saying it's bad, it's just, it's a rougher game to go back to. It's a little bit, it's just rough. I don't know how to really put it that way. I feel like the thing is that there's so much polish in modern Smash that this one's hard to get back to, and I'm not trying to slander it in any way, it's just, it's rough. With that being said, let's get to my final thoughts. So does Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 64 hold up? That's a complicated one. You see, there's a lot that goes into this one, and I honestly have no clue. Your mileage may definitely vary with this game. I can see where somebody would like it, somebody my age would absolutely enjoy it, but I don't know if somebody that comes off of the later games would 100% like it at all without having friends involved. There's not really a lot to do. I would say no, but I still get enjoyment out of it. So, with that being said, I have to say, your mileage may vary. With that being said, what is your favorite Super Smash Bros. Game? Heck, what is your favorite fighting game? Please leave it in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time on Nostalgia Goggles. Bye!